And when did steppe bisons go extinct?
12,000 years ago.
Wow.
And
And so the permafrost is slowly melting, and you're hosing it down and pulling it. So the stench is literally like this ancient, rotting biological material.
it stinks.
Wow.
Our world is shrouded in mystery. We only know our history through the eyes of mere historians. What might have passed is all unknown to us. Imagine a world where dinosaurs and early humans walked the Earth together. Sounds like science fiction, right? But discoveries are challenging that notion and suggesting that these ancient giants and our early ancestors might have coexisted. In this video, we'll explore the groundbreaking findings that are shaking up our understanding of the past. Get ready to dive into this thrilling mystery and rethink everything you thought you knew about prehistoric life. Number 1. Ecostones.
I have photographed some 100 of it in a collection in the city of Ica. And there was an old Professor Dr. Cabrera. The Indians brought him stones from all over the country of Peru. And on these stones you see fantastic engravings.
The fact that humans and dinosaurs coexist seems far-fetched, but in 1961, a Peruvian farmer named Javier Cabrera accidentally found stones in his field. These extraordinary stones had engravings depicting animals and humans with extreme precision. The carvings showed dinosaurs and other animals interacting with humans. Since that day, they have become a great topic of debate and have had their authenticity questioned by many scientists. Others, however, believe that these artifacts represent evidence of our mysterious past. The Ica stones are truly amazing. These stones raise questions about the broken time we may have skipped in history. Whether genuine or fabricated, the Ica stones capture the imagination, blurring the lines between myth and history. Number 2. Acambaro figures. In 1944, Valdemar Julzard claimed to have stumbled upon mysterious figurines near Acambaro, Mexico. These statues quickly caught interest as they depicted the interaction of humans and dinosaurs. These clay figures challenge conventional timelines of human history, suggesting a world where humans and dinosaurs coexisted. Critics quickly dismissed them as fabrications, but supporters have argued much of our history is tampered with and rest unknown. Some supporters believe that these figurines are left behind by interdimensional aliens who could travel back to the times of the dinosaurs and bring knowledge to the Central Americans. These artifacts continue to puzzle researchers and enthusiasts and are a testament to the mysteries of our ancient past. Number 3. Taprom stegosaurus. We often go to ancient ruins and find engravings of animals and humans that give us an insight into the ancient world. One such engraving in the heart of Cambodia's Ta Prohm Temple captivated many, resembling a truly prehistoric creature. The Stegosaurus, this carving, was among many carvings of animals in the Ta Prohm Temple. Did the artists of Khmer in ancient times possess a concept of the dinosaurs, or is it just a coincidence? Critics often dismiss it as an anachronistic anomaly, yet the carving continues to intrigue, challenging our understanding of history and prehistoric life. As for the given Stegosaurus, irrespective of its etymological history, it has remained an enigmatic symbol of mysteries still hidden within ancient art. Number 4. Paluxy River tracks. In the quiet Humans and dinosaurs may have lived in the same timeline is a captivating one and is very intriguing. Dinosaurs may not have walked on Earth 2.5 million years ago, but the world was very different from what we have today. Scientists have unearthed fossilized footprints of ancient humans that offer fascinating insights into their world. In places like Lutoli in Tanzania, footprints of early humans, believed to be Australopithecus afarensis, were preserved in volcanic ash about 3.6 million years ago. These footprints are of one of our old ancestors and provide a snapshot of their behavior and environment, illustrating how early hominids walked and lived. Number 6. Kachina Bridge, Utah dinosaur. Another piece of evidence for the ancient coexistence of humans and dinosaurs lies on the walls of the Kachina Bridge in Utah. At the base of the Kachina Bridge in Utah's Canyonlands National Park are myriad petroglyphs sparking imagination and debate. People visit the arch of the bridge and gaze up at the carvings made by people who lived 1,000s of years ago. These petroglyphs, created by the ancestral Puebloan, depict various figures and different symbols on the rock which illustrate the culture and religion of the creators. The rock art near Kachina Bridge has abstract forms and stylized animals, and some look like that of a dinosaur with a long neck and a curved tail. Scientists say it is more probable that these motifs are a depiction of the Native American everyday practices, spiritual life, and view of their culture. The petroglyphs in Kachina Bridge provide an interesting view into the past in a way that invokes the viewer's curiosity, as well as the meanings and narratives that can be gained from these contemporary desert paintings. Number 7. Dinosaur petroglyphs around the world. Around the world, there have been sightings of petroglyphs with giant lizards, and they have raised questions for us all. Were there some dinosaurs left that coexisted with ancient humans? In Algeria's Tassili Naja cave complex, some rock art features large, reptilian figures that some interpret as dinosaurs, although most scholars believe they represent symbolic or mythical creatures. Number 8. Dragons were dinosaurs. Those who love folklore are familiar with dragons, but did you know that the dragons might be connected to dinosaurs as well? Dragons are the representation of the real dinosaurs, combining mythology and archaeology. Culturally, dragons make up an inseparable part of the folklore around the world, be it the European dragon, which is portrayed as a gigantic fire-breathing reptile, or the serpentine dragons of Asia. Many of them are similar to dinosaurs, large reptiles with scales and sometimes wings. When early humans saw large, unknown bones or fossil footprints, they might have thought they were dragon bones or dragon footprints, and this molded their interpretation into myths. Number 9. Klerksdorp Sphere. Nestled among new research that challenges the conventional timeline of dinosaur extinction. In 2012, a Triceratops browhorn found in Montana was carbon dated to be approximately 33,500 years old. Triceratops first appeared around 68 million years ago and is known to have disappeared 66 million years ago. Thus, it was not expected that this dinosaur would still be around at this time. Radiocarbon was detected in various fossils, including those from the Mesozoic and Paleozoic eras, contradicting the millions of years assumption presented in popular media like Jurassic World. The research involved testing dinosaur bones and other ancient samples in multiple laboratories with consistent results showing radiocarbon presence. Critics argue that contamination might explain these findings, but the rigorous testing procedures aim to eliminate such possibilities. Number 11. The Civatherium of Kish. A copper rain ring dating back to about 3500 BC was discovered in ancient Kish, indicating the survival of the Civatherium, which is a colossal giraffid thought to have died out 1,000,000 years prior. The amulet portrayed an animal, Civatherium, that lived in the regions of the Indian subcontinent and Africa from the late Miocene to the early Pleistocene era. An analysis of this artifact proved that this prehistoric creature indeed lived with Sumerians. More evidence to support this are paintings of animals similar to Civatherium that were depicted in the dinosaur ages of Sahara and central West India, proving that the dinosaur might have lived up to about 8,000 years ago. These findings suggest that Civatherium might have survived until the epoch of early Mesopotamian civilizations and mixed with the ancient people. Should the reality of such findings be confirmed, it could mean that some of the prehistoric species might have been around much longer than has been assumed. Number 12. The aurochs. Dinosaurs were not the only animals that used to walk alongside the animals, but many animals walked the earth that are not present today. The aurochs is an extinct breed of ox, the direct ancestor of modern cattle, that lived in an era that was inhabited by large, prehistoric animals and early humans. They roamed in Europe, Asia, and North Africa. These giant creatures had notably long horns that curled forward and muscular bodies that dominated ancient terrains. Although not dinosaurs, the aurochs represent a living link to an era of ancient megafauna that endured alongside early humans. Their representation in cave paintings, such as that in Lascaux, indicates how these animals were placed in the social construct of prehistoric societies and how their history merged with that of men. Number 13. Barbary lion. The Barbary lion was an ancient native inhabitant of North Africa. This was a giant among animals and played a very important role in the ancient world. Even though it is not a dinosaur, the Barbary lion is a descendant of the age of the giants of the prehistoric world. Barbary lions vanished in the wild at the beginning of the 20th century as the result of hunting by the humans and destruction of their natural habitat. The last wild Barbary lions were reported to have been killed in 1922, while the subspecies continued to be bred for captivity. Their presence in human history, coupled with their impressive stature and regal appearance, highlights their deep connection to both ancient times and the evolutionary lineage that stretches back to the era of dinosaurs. Number 14. The behemoth and tannin. Does the Bible happen to mention the dinosaur? Well, yes. In fact, it is mentioned many times. Some skeptics might argue that dinosaurs are not mentioned in the Bible, but remember that the term dinosaur did not come into usage until the early years of the 20th century. Other interpretations suggest that it is these prehistoric giants that early historians were hinting at. Two examples worth mentioning are tannin and behemoth. The term tannin is used in such books as Genesis and Isaiah. Its translations include dragon or serpent. It could refer to giant reptiles similar in size to dinosaurs or prehistoric reptiles, but it is better known to mean mythical sea creatures or serpents rather than individual dinosaurs. Number 15. Leviathan. In the Bible, the Leviathan is mentioned as a savage sea creature, often depicted as a dragon or sea monster from the sea, known from the book of Job, Job 41, also referred to in Psalms and Isaiah. The large plates or circles interpreted as scales on its body. a large mouth, and several stories that it could breathe fire make some people think that it is a representation of a large marine reptile like the ichthyosaur or plesiosaur. This idea has been drawn from the creature and its dramatic characterization, as well as its nature of having robbed the ancient seas of order and treating them with havoc. Large marine fossils could have been found by the early people, and these were incorporated into their myth systems as the Leviathan. While there is no direct evidence linking the Leviathan to specific water dinosaurs, the biblical depiction, combined with ancient mythological parallels, offers a fascinating perspective on how the Leviathan might reflect real prehistoric marine life. Number 16. Marco Polo recordings. One of the accounts of the ancient world is the travels of Marco Polo, the Venetian explorer, where he comes across an animal that in some ways could be a dinosaur. As described in the travelogue by Marco Polo in the 13th century, there was a rather terrifying animal in the area of the Gobi Desert. The creature was reported to have a slender body that resembled a worm, a large head like that of a crocodile, and a tail like that of a serpent. This picture depicts a monster that is commonly associated with large, outstanding reptiles. Polo gave specific descriptions of the size and behavior of the beast. Thus, people hoped that it was a dinosaur or a prehistoric animal of similar size. Although there is no solid base of proof for this claim, the depiction of Polo as a mesmerizing describer and the creature resembling prehistoric reptiles make the story extremely interesting. Such a hypothetical association of humans and dinosaurs with Marco Polo's reports exemplifies the combination of travel and unknown creatures and ideas, proving invaluable for demonstrating how myths and scientific findings can be closely connected. Number 17. Dogon Tribe, Africa. Carnivorous mammal who lived in the Pleistocene epoch is a living link between the Cretaceous period and prehistoric men. While dinosaurs disappeared about 65 million years ago, the dire wolves survived, along with the early man, for about 9,500 years. New DNA studies in 2021 showed that despite the barreling resemblances with today's gray wolf by convergent evolution, dire wolves are not genetically related to modern gray wolves. Their closest living relative is therefore the African jackal. This inevitably changes the vision of their family background. This creature was truly gigantic for a canine. Dire wolves were mostly larger than modern wolves and had a more potent bite. Hypothetically, their extinction, although they appeared large and flexible, may have happened because of the absence of large animal food sources, because of climatic changes, as well as because of hunting by the early human beings. Number 19. The mammoth. The huge-sized mammal, known as woolly mammoth, was very important in the lives of early humans. These giant beasts inhabited the icy terrain of North America and Eurasia approximately 4,000 years ago. According to anthropologists, woolly mammoths played a crucial role for the ancient people. Food was scarce. Mammoth meat was vital, especially in those cold regions. The skin of a mammoth was utilized to make garments and to construct a bunya for shelter from the cold climate. Their bones and tusks were necessary for making tools, weapons, and artwork. The remnants of the materials used by ancient people found in Ukraine prove that those people well utilized every part of the mammoths, even for building constructions like mammoth bone huts. Ivory was particularly valued, and due to its relatively soft structure, it was used to produce complex engravings and other significant items addressing spiritual and social life in early cultures. Mammoths were not only significant as a resource, but also as objects of worship and legends in the historical mythology of people. Their legacy lives on, reminding us of the profound connections between humans and the natural world in prehistoric times. Number 20. Mastodon. Mastodons, which were prehistoric cousins to the elephants, were found in North America in those early ages, stood at about 10 feet and had curved tusks, long necks, and a hump on the back, which made them suitable for the environment. Records of their presence and contact with the initial people are seen in fossils as well as Paleolithic cave paintings. These petroglyphs that have been found in many areas in North America prove that mastodons played a significant role in the existence of prehistoric man. Number 21. Giant ground sloths. We may think of sloths as slow and sluggish, but their ancestors were poles apart. The giant ground sloth, an extinct large animal, inhabited the Americas. Standing 2 to 4 meters on the hind limbs alone and measuring up to 20 meters in length in total, this giant was incomparable to any present large mammal. Being an excellent climber with sharp claws, the giant ground sloth could dig large tunnels called paleo burrows, which could have been used for living and breeding purposes. Fossilized remains and rock art from South America confirm its existence, with cave paintings that depict crude images of sloth-like creatures. These ancient mammals were contemporaries of other giant animals, for instance, the mammoths and giant armadillos. Today's closest living affiliates are modern three-toed sloths, but none of them can be compared in size and majesty to the prehistoric animals. Number 22. Thylacine. Tasmanian tiger. Tasmanian tiger, or the thylacine, had inhabited Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea until the beginning of the 20th century. Not a tiger, but a marsupial. It had a body build and a pattern of stripes on its back and tail that earned it the tiger nickname. The thylacine was a marsupial that looked like a large dog or a kangaroo. Thylacine was a marsupial, carnivorous, and nocturnal, which fed on some small mammals, birds, and insects. Several causes that led to the extinction of this animal include hunting, destruction of habitat, and diseases. The last specimen of the thylacine was said to have been alive in 1936. The thylacine is still remembered as one of the many lost species and as one of the continuing problems of wildlife protection. Number 23. Glyptodon. The glyptodon was a wildly outrageous prehistoric beast, approximately the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, that looked like a giant armored armadillo. These large animals were identified to live in South America during the Pleistocene period of between 2 million and 10,000 years ago. Glyptodons had a thick, armor-like body shield that constituted of many bony plates that made them prey to animals and hard to have an easy way through the armor. As for the shell, unlike its descendants, it was conical and was formed by large hexagonal plates. Fossils of glyptodons have been seen in fossilized remains and fossilized shell fragments in South America. Number 24, saber-toothed cat. Saber-toothed Number 25, avian dinosaur, birds. Did you know that dinosaurs are part of the world even today? They coexist with humans in the form of birds, or what has evolved from the ground, dwelling dinosaurs, 66 million years ago. A massive event resulted in the loss of the majority of the dinosaurs and forests. Some dinosaurs that were equipped with feathers were able to evolve for survival. These survivors developed into the basic form of birds that existed on the surface of the Earth. These early bird species evolved and suited themselves to different conditions that are evident in present-day birds. To stay updated on these amazing discoveries, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Share this video with friends and join the discussion on what these findings could mean. Your thoughts and questions are important, so let's explore incredible mysteries together.